Alright, y'all. So, this is the first time I've ever done this because I actually really didn't want to do this type of content on my channel because I'm going to be honest, I hate rant videos of any kind. The thing is that even if I agree with what the person is saying, the thing is that if you're saying it in an angry, volatile way, I'm not going to listen to you. If you can't express your opinion in a civil manner, then there is no way I am going to give you my time. And I know some people are really going to disagree with that. Some people are truly going to say if a person's right, then they're right. It doesn't matter how destructive they are and how they're expressing it. They're just right, so they have the right to do that. Well, that's just not me. That's just not how I do things. So this is probably going to be considered a rant video or a rant audio, but I'm going to try my best to keep myself under control. And I'm going to try my best to express my opinion in a way that's actually coherent and not me just swearing and screaming and everything. I'm going to make sure that I do this properly. So, because of all of this, you're probably wondering what I'm so upset about, though. And the main thing is that basically I get a lot of people asking me, because people usually say I'm mature for my age, but I get a lot of people asking me, why is your generation like this? Why does your generation do X, Y, Z? Why is it? As if I can speak for my entire generation. And the biggest question I usually get is, why are you all so rude? Why are you all so hateful and volatile, and you'll just immediately snap at anybody for any little thing? And there's actually a very good reason for it, and that's because no one has etiquette anymore. And, I'm not talking about etiquette as in, like, sipping a little cup of tea with your pinky out. That's not what I'm talking about at all. What I'm actually talking about is etiquette in terms of basic human interactions, in terms of saying, hi, hello, how are you, how's your day? Like, those kind of things are such a rarity now because everyone is so busy focusing on only themselves that they don't care if you say hello to them. They don't care if you greet them politely. And if you so much as try to socially interact with them on any level, they will get upset or they will just flat out ignore you. And this is coming from an introvert. I don't like being social. I have to recharge my batteries every time I go out because it wears me out. And even I have enough common sense to know that when someone says hi to me, I say hi back politely. But people just don't do that anymore. Every time I go into a store, anytime I go to the mall, anytime I do anything outside of my house, I basically have to deal with people looking at me like I'm insane if I try to make small talk with them. And don't get me wrong, I understand it. I understand that some people don't like small talk. They don't want to interact unless it's something that they see as extremely meaningful. I get it. But when a person is polite to you and is going out of their way to be polite to you, I'm not asking for you to consider me to be your best friend, but I am expecting you to at least reciprocate that kindness. And it's just, you don't have to think about this interaction between us in any given circumstance as me trying to get all up in your personal business, because it's not like that. It's not. When a person asks you, how's your day going, if your first response is to say none of your damn business, that is your problem. That is something that you have to deal with within yourself in order to see, why am I so angry with a person asking me how my day was? Why am I so furious at the idea of someone being polite to me. I mean, like, that is something that you have to wrestle with, because I don't think that's natural. Like, as much as of an introvert I am, I like to spend my time alone. I like to cool off on my own. I can fully admit, though, that it is not natural for someone to get that upset and that volatile when someone tries to socially interact with them on such a basic level. I can't fathom it anymore. And people wonder, going back to what I said at the beginning about my generation, they wonder why we don't go outside, why we're recluses, why we want to work remotely. Like, all of these things are because nobody actually is polite anymore. No one actually puts effort into their social interactions anymore. And you know what? I could blame it on the pandemic, but I'm not going to, because this was a problem before the pandemic. The pandemic just made it ultimately worse.
What is the group that you're with? What do you classify yourself as? Gen X?
Well, I mean, my whole life people have called me a millennial when technically I'm Gen Z.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really frustrating when older generations say to us that we are just so abnormal for not wanting to interact with people, when a majority of the interactions I have that are extremely negative with people refusing to be social with etiquette and things like that, a majority of those interactions are actually not from people my own age. They're either way younger or way older. And the thing is that when that happens, I mean, those moments where you could be just checking out when you're buying something and all a person can do is just roll their eyes at you at everything you say, like, those things, they seem so outlandish. They seem like it's something that you would only see in like a cartoon or a movie, but it happens in real life. And the thing is that it's always usually with people that are way older than me or way younger than me.
So the situation that happened in the store, was the clerk older or younger than you?
Older. And for those of you who want the context of what I just went through to make me do this little rant, is I was at a pet store and I was buying crickets for my bearded dragon, and I watched them take them out, and a different person was checking me out than the person that got the crickets for me, but that previous person who was taking out the crickets wrote on the little baggie how many crickets were in there. And I bring my crickets up to the checkout, I lay it on the counter face up so it is not covered, so it's not even like the person can't see it, and they have the nerve to, one, not greet me and just say phone number, and then they have the nerve to ask me how many crickets are in the damn bag. And it's right there, right in front of them. Does it really take that much energy and that much effort to look at something that is inches in front of you and type it into a computer instead of just asking me? And the other employees in the store were not any better, because if I would bump into them, I would say, "Excuse me," but they would just kind of stare at me as they walked around me. And if we kept meeting again, then I would keep saying "excuse me," and they would still not say anything back. I'm so sorry if this makes me sound high maintenance, but like, is it really that tough?
No, it's not. courtesy has gone out the window.